What's up everybody? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be giving the S14 all sorts of love. After the last church event, I brought it home and had noticed the gas tank had developed a crack in it and started leaking all over the floor. So that stimulated me to pull the whole rear end out, get the gas tank dropped. Unfortunately, I lost that footage. But once I had dropped it, I had found some oxidation starting to develop, found rust holes as well in certain areas. So I had cut all those out, welded in new metal, and then decided I needed to undercoat the underside of the chassis in the rear to protect it from happening again. So that's about where we're at. We're also going to be adding in NRG bucket seats, a GK Tech dual caliper hydraulic handbrake setup paired with the GK Tech high clearance front sway bar and K-frame weld-in reinforcement like brace. Let's get you jumped into the action and enjoy the video. Well, shit, folks. It's been a while. Many days, much effort later. I kind of ground down everything, hit it with all the wire wheels and cleaned it up, wax and grease remover, got all the shit out everywhere. So now I'm gonna hit it with some good old Rust-Oleum undercoating. Okay, you can tell by my dirty ass face, undercoating's done. Tried to time lapse it, it said no, but there you go. It's all undercoated, it's all black, good to go. I went ahead and got the pumps transferred to the new tank. Decided to get a new tank instead of fix the old one. Maybe I'll fix the old one later on in life, who knows. But for now, prep up the tank mounting things and then get everything ready to put back in. Well, it's been a little bit. Made some progress today. I got the gas tank thrown in. It's no longer on the floor here. It's chilling up in its spot. Yeah, I got the straps painted and all that jazz. It looks all right. It's kind of a pain to get in there by yourself, but lifted it all up. Fuel tank is done. I do kind of want to like fill it up and just test it to see. So next it's going to be time for the subframe. I do kind of want to take a moment before I throw it in and install a little something else we got. So I've had some spare calipers chilling around with the intent of doing a dual caliper setup. So yeah, here's my extra calipers. Pulled all 4 calipers off of the car since it's already, out of fluid and stuff. Dual caliper bracket from GK Tech. Gonna slap that on. So I guess I'll get started on pulling the knuckles back off. Alright, as you saw, made relatively quick work pulling all that apart. Went ahead and got the old brake mounting tabs trimmed down just enough to fit. Really didn't have to trim that much of them off. Plenty of clearance. These are all like secured for the most part. Gonna go ahead, pull them off, clean them up, paint them a little bit, make them look nice. Another day of progress. Some of it done off camera. Got these all scuffed up, sprayed with some blue. I'm actually baking the remaining calipers in the oven right now just to get the paint like cured in or whatever. It's a high temp paint. Should last on the calipers. What else? I guess everything's ready to go together. I went and got more fuel, some ethanol. So I'm actually gonna top off the tank right now before I reinstall the subframe. That way, in case there is any leaks or whatever and I have to drop it, I can do it now before I put everything back together. Great success. Filled up the tank. No leaks under the car. Triple checked just because I was being paranoid. Already primed the fuel system, made sure that there's no leaks. The fuel pump's turning on like it's supposed to, all that jazz. Moving on from there. Calipers are painted. Mounted them on the bracket. I actually went ahead and torqued them down now before putting the knuckle on. Yeah, torqued down the hub bolts here and the e-brake, whatever the fuck pin thing bolt. And I also already trimmed my dust shield last night to fit the extra spacing of calipers. So should look good. This side's ready to go for final assembly. I'm gonna do the same to this side and then get this subframe basically ready to go. Okay, we have dual calipers on the rear, around the Hydro ones on the bottom, and going to have the lines. I just kind of zip tied them up to the other factory lines. I got the lines running alongside the e-brake lines and cables and kind of secured to them in spots, I guess. And then interior, got the Hydro all installed. Went ahead and just ran the line here, popped a hole kind of here near where the factory e-brake stuff comes through. Factory e-brake still works as well, nice and tight. Looks real clean. Just for the moment, I got a temporary D&D black steering wheel. Also got some new NRG seats that I threw in. A lot of Black Friday deals, a lot of parts that have come in. Just things that have needed to refresh for a long time, particularly the interior, but it looks so much better now. Yeah, need some nice floor mats. If you guys have some suggestions on dope floor mats, send some comments what I should get. Anyways, moving on. I guess all I need is to bleed the rear normal brakes, and then tires can go on. Rear end is done. Now I guess we're gonna move on to the front. So on the front, I got some new parts. Black Friday deals, go figure. We got the high clearance sway bar from GK Tech. We also got the weld-in K-frame enforcements, or like tension arm bracket reinforcements. Basically gonna do a DIY Nismo power plant frame, and that should help stiffen up the front end of this car quite a bit. And got all the provisions that'll complement nicely with our GK Tech high clearance tension arms, extended lower control arm, got tie rods and offset spacers. But yeah, these KRLs are kind of dented and such. So I've got some replacements. I'm gonna do the welding stuff on those. So several 17mm bolts and a 12mm bolt on each side. Got this thing pulled out. I didn't have a factory sway bar or any sway bar in there, so didn't have to remove that. So here is some clean tension arm brackets. Not all bent up and dinged up, so I'm just gonna weld these in. Also, if you notice, no engine, so super easy to access everything, tack it all up, make sure it all fits pretty good, weld everything in. Alright, we got it all mocked up, tacked in on both sides. Alright, parts off the car. I did hit everything with a weld through primer. Under here, just anywhere I'm clamping metal together, I'm hitting with that weld through primer. I did the same like underneath like the tubing areas, and anywhere that's going to be like raw metal that's not welded and not able to be painted. So weld through primer, use it. I also bolted in an old set of arms, just so that way the brackets are like as clamped together here as they're going to be once it's in the car and everything's torqued to spec and all that. So now we're ready to finish welding this thing. Okay, it's all fully welded. I probably didn't need to fully weld it. I probably could have just done it in little segments, but it's fine. The last time I did do in little segments, kind of how they recommend on the website, but everything fit pretty well, honestly. So, not too bad. Need a little bit of persuasion with some clamps and stuff to get it all set flush, but it's pretty fucking stout. The sway bar just barely clears. It'll sit like close, but I did already check that too, so good on ya. Well, all painted, looking decent. Sway bar's ready. Gonna follow GK Tech's instructions and lubricate the bushings with grease, put anti-seize on the splines, anti-seize on the bolts, and get the sway bar installed. But first, yeah, power plant frame. Alright, after a little bit of persuasion, we got that sucker in. Next up, sway bar. Already got the bushings greased. Ends with anti-seize. That's a fucking mess. Anyways, yeah, slap this fucking guy in. Well, we got it all installed. Lever arms in, under the chassis rail as per the instructions. It goes up under this little guy and behind here. She goes like up under in there too. Everything torqued to spec, tension arms back in, welding reinforcements are looking good. Got all those torqued to spec, sway bar linkage in, and yeah, tight, torqued to spec. Look at that. All courtesy of GK Tech. Well, not courtesy, but you know, all brought to me by GK Tech with my money. So, yeah, from the top. Got 2 bars, plenty of clearance in between the two. Plenty of clearance on my 1JZ to the actual sway bar and to the reinforcement bar. So, yeah, it's looking pretty dang good. So now I just gotta wait on seals to come in for the front calipers, and we can get calipers thrown on it. Initially, I was gonna be doing a lot of paint body work and stuff, so I took off the fenders, so I guess I'm not going to do that before the drift event, so I'm going to slap those back on, maybe start patching up the aero and get this thing ready for a drift event. But for now, I guess that's going to do on this video. Doing all the GK Tech installs. We got sway bars, we got the Weldon K-frame reinforcements, we got new bucket seats, we got rear dual caliper setup, we got a new fuel tank. A lot of shit getting done on this one. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, leave a comment down below, let me know what you got to do for your drift event prep. And yeah, make sure you guys get outside and go play in traffic.